sanctions were to be effective against Russia. That's largely happened, and in fact 6 months on, some of those sanctions have been tightened. But the war has rumbled on, so how should we assess their impact? Let's meet our panel. Chris Weafer is founding partner of business consultancy Macro Advisory. He splits his time between Moscow and other Eurasian countries. Welcome to The Real Story, Chris Weafer. For you, is there an example of an anecdote or something you've heard about an individual or business in Russia that's actually been impacted by the sanctions?
Well, there has been an impact on ordinary people. For example, one of my friends was a coffee addict who would go several times a day to Starbucks and has had real issues when Starbucks closed. And, that sort of story is typical. You mentioned about Netflix. Here also a lot of people are really complaining that they don't have access to movies, to Western movies. A lot of theatres have closed. It's not crushing them. People can still go to shops and obviously access all essential services, but all of these kind of, shall we say, luxuries of going shopping to a shopping mall of Western brands, that's gone, and that's affecting people.
It's interesting to see how those relatively small tweaks to people's lives can, though, have a big impact. Thanks very much. We'll bear that in mind and come back to some of that. Let's meet our next panellist. Oleg Itshoki is Professor of Economics at the University of California in Los Angeles. Welcome to The Real Story, Oleg. Do you have an example of how Russians are being affected by sanctions?
Yes, indeed. I always find it somewhat tone deaf to talk about the daily inconveniences in the lives of Russians when in Ukraine, tens and dozens and oftentimes 100 people die daily during this war. But nonetheless, sanctions were associated with a lot of inconveniences for Russians. I have a friend who's been living in Basel for a while. She's working there. She just had a baby, and her mom was going to visit her from Moscow. And in order to come from Moscow to Europe now, you have to first take a train to St. Petersburg, and then you take a bus to Finland, and then you fly from Finland to where you need to go. In Europe, there are questions about the visas going forward. Alternative routes are through Turkey or Dubai. And in general, travel has become very difficult. And it concerns not just people who travel, but also the whole airline industry that is suffering very strongly. And basically everybody who's employed in the airline industry is feeling that as well.
And we will talk about some of those specific sectors and industries in more detail. Let's meet our third panellist. Agathe Desmarais is Global Forecasting Director at the Economist Intelligence Unit and author of the forthcoming book Backfire: How Sanctions Reshaped the World Against US Interests. Welcome to The Real Story, Agathe. Could you give me an example of a business or individual affected by sanctions?
Yes, hello and hi everyone. Very happy to be here. Well, essentially a lot of Russians, they used to really like to go to McDonald's, to eat hamburgers and fries and French fries. That was something that was very popular in the time when I was living in Moscow, and fast food chains from Western countries have exited the market and McDonald's has been replaced by a Russian brand. But I hear it's not exactly the same. So I'm sure that many Russians are unhappy about this. But this is obviously only an anecdote and nothing compared to the pain that many Ukrainians are feeling at the moment.
It's very interesting to hear those very real examples of how sanctions are affecting ordinary Russians in their everyday lives. That's our panel, Agathe Desmarais, Oleg Itshoki and Chris Weafer. Now, this is a programme about sanctions in Russia, but let's for a moment think about sanctions in the most general terms. Agathe, what would you say they try to do? What are sanctions about?
Well, in theory, sanctions have always been about putting pressure on a country to force it or compel it to change its behavior. So, for instance, a very good example of that was Western sanctions that were imposed on Iran before the nuclear deal was signed a long time ago, it seems. And these sanctions had compelled the Iranian regime at the time to agree on curbs and limits on nuclear activities. And this is a very good example of how sanctions can work. It's a bargaining chip. That being said, in recent years, and especially regarding Russia sanctions today, it's become slightly unclear sometimes what the objectives of sanctions are, which is actually having a detrimental impact on the effectiveness of sanctions, because if the target, in this case Russia, doesn't really exactly know what it needs to do, to see sanctions being lifted, well, obviously this undermines the effectiveness of sanctions.
They are aimed to have an impact on a country's economy. You mentioned Iran. Over the years, those sanctions have been imposed on a number of countries for a variety of reasons and with varying outcomes.
We call on the international community to continue the campaign to isolate the apartheid regime. To lift sanctions now would be to run the risk of aborting the process towards the complete eradication of apartheid.
Saddam continues to rebuild his weapons of mass destruction and subject the Iraqi people to brutal repression. It is the United States' view that we must keep the United Nations sanctions in place as long as he remains in power. And
it's been over 10 years. Too many children have died, and they have to stop the killing of our Iraqi children and the Iraqi people.
Pan Am 747 from London Heathrow with 273 people on board crashed in the Lockerbie area just after 7 p.m. tonight.
It would have to be considered an act of war by Libya against the U.S. and Britain. I feel that, and many relatives feel that some sanctions, at the very least, are necessary against Libya.
America's policy has been very clear. We've supported the Venezuelan people. We will continue to do that. There's more sanctions to be had. There's more humanitarian assistance, I think, that we can provide.
Today I'm directing the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, to notify the UN Security Council that the United States intends to restore virtually all of the previously suspended United Nations sanctions on Iran. It's a snapback. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
The first person you heard there was Nelson Mandela following his release from prison. And there were a number of other voices discussing sanctions that have been imposed on Iraq, Libya, Venezuela, and of course at the end there, President Trump on Iran. A powerful criticism of sanctions is that they're a blunt weapon. They make life difficult for ordinary people, but they don't necessarily achieve the intended change. Is there an obvious example of when sanctions have been effective?
Well, there is an obvious example, and actually I think it was in one of the extracts that you've just broadcast, and I would say it was Libya, but it was a long time ago. There had been sanctions imposed first by the US on Libya because of Gaddafi's terror activities and willingness to acquire nuclear weapons. These, in the first place, hadn't been successful, but after the bombings of some airplanes from Western countries, then these sanctions became adopted by the UN, and they became very effective because a few years afterwards, Gaddafi gave in and accepted US demands. But I would say this is an exception rather than the rule. We also discussed Iran when sanctions have been successful, but in other circumstances, such as obviously Russia in 2014, Russia is no closer to getting back Crimea, especially following the latest actions. So I would say these are exceptions rather than the rules.
Chris, what about South Africa? We heard Nelson Mandela speaking there, asking actually for the sanctions to remain in place, even though he had been released from prison. Do you think sanctions played a part in changing the course of events in South Africa?
Well, yes, I think that's absolutely clear that it did. But in my opinion, sanctions worked in South Africa and can work because you have a society where there is political opposition. In other words, Nelson Mandela was able to stand up, garner support, and kind of use sanctions as a tool for support in order to try and force change. That is not going to happen in Russia any more than it happens in Iran or in Venezuela.
Would you, Agat, make a distinction between sanctions imposed by the UN and those imposed, say, by a group of countries, often led by the US, along with its allies, such as the EU?
Yes, absolutely. There's a big distinction between the two because sanctions that are imposed by the UN, well, these sanctions are theoretically imposed by all countries around the world, which makes it very difficult for target countries to circumvent them. It's not impossible. For instance, North Korea is under UN sanctions and it manages to circumvent the sanctions to some extent, but still it makes it much trickier. And so there's a big difference between the two. If I may add something else, I think that the difficulty in assessing the impact of sanctions and the effectiveness of sanctions is that we do not have the counter narrative. That is to say, what would have happened if sanctions hadn't been in place, say in 2014? What would Vladimir Putin have done if Western countries hadn't imposed sanctions. So sanctions can serve this deterrence purpose, this signaling purpose. And also the question is, what is the alternative? Because sanctions do fill in a gap between mere diplomatic declarations, that is to say, doing nothing, and I say this as a former French diplomat, or sending troops on the ground. They do fill this role.
Of Cap Desk. Christian, welcome to you. Why do so many startups need to use your product?
Well, I think there's been, a new generation of fast-growing companies that are raising more funding than before. So we're seeing just much more funding being available in the private markets. And then we're also seeing companies take their employees a little bit more serious as the war for talent has become increasingly expensive. So they're forced to but see the benefit in giving out equity to employees. And obviously we think that's fantastic. So
now there's obviously clearly a lot of demand for the product. Why have you chosen to sell out now?
Well, yes, I mean, there's never really a good time to do it, is there? But I think we're sort of creating a new market and a new industry. So when I started this some years ago, there wasn't any attention in this space. There wasn't a lot of people thinking about private companies and equity for employees. And coming to here and allowing us to team up with the largest one in the US, who's also sort of a startup, and working together to win the world is sort of like a dream come true. So it feels more like budding up with a friend that you've already admired more than setting out.
You weren't tempted, though, to carry on growing the business yourself here in Europe?
I think we were. We're looking to raise a funding round, and we actually had several offers for that funding round and so forth. But I think at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, why are you doing this, and where can you make the most impact? And if our mission has always been to democratize equity in private companies all over the world, and if working together with Carter, who's got the same mission, it just became a no-brainer. I could take all my employees over the new company to Carter. And we could do it together. So it felt like a match in heaven, to be fair.
Very interesting, though, what you say, though. I mean, the implication of what you're saying is that clearly funding is going to get tighter for startups. Is that going to have an impact on the business in terms of the number of new clients you'll seeing come through the door?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think funding is, we are definitely going into a tricky phase. However, I also think as companies will raise less funding, they might also need to attract better talent. And with that, they might have to issue equity to the employees who they can't pay the same competitive rate as before. So I think it'll even out from our standpoint. And we saw it during COVID as well. Then when they had to cut salaries or when they couldn't pay market salaries, they would use equity increasingly to attract talent, which is great. And then I also think that if you look at the dry powder being raised, so the amount of unallocated funds raised by venture funds, there will be the markets will recover again for the private companies. So we're feeling comfortable about it.
But in the meantime, Christian, would you expect to see tech casualties increasing over the next 18 months or so?
Yeah, I think, without being an expert in this in any ways, I think we're going to see sort of new companies come out and be much more robust and sort of, taking much more better care of their cash, being a little bit less hyper growth at all costs. And then we're going to see some companies who just can't, push on the valuation further, who has to do a down round. I think we're already seeing it. And unfortunately, that might infect some employees, but maybe it's healthy for the environment to get a little bit of a shake-up, I think. And we care, obviously, a lot about the employees, making sure that employees are treated fairly and that they can see their value of their equity. And whenever you issue equity to employees, that you tell them that this is a risky instrument. And so perhaps as well, this will be an eye-opener for the companies to do more for the employees as well.
Very interesting point on which to end. Christian, appreciate you joining me today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. We'll have a look at how global markets are doing this Friday morning. Don't go away.
What I'm trying to do as part of the work leading into the London Marathon is just encourage people to get more active in general. And so I've been working the last couple of years with Flora on their Get Towns Active campaign. And every year, this time of year, just before the marathon, we get the annual Active Towns report. And what's really encouraging is that the nation, on average, is up and is spending 46 minutes a day exercising, being physically active, which is great for their health. And other areas, other cities have really, really picked up. So Edinburgh, for example, have gone from 28 minutes average per day up to 53, which is really, really good. London is up to 52 minutes, and Cork wins. Cork have gone right up to 58 minutes. It just means making those changes in diet as well, eating more healthily, making sure you're including the healthy fats, and it's also making a commitment to exercise daily. And we are, as a nation, at a time when we're kind of coming out of the pandemic, going back to work, and 27% of the people surveyed, I think, said that they are more time poor. So they find it harder, but they're still making that commitment to make time to exercise because they feel better for it. And I absolutely think that's vital to have safe areas that people can go and exercise, cycle lanes, areas where you can go and run, where you can go and play ball, access to swimming pools, so that people really have that choice, that they can find the sport or the activity that they love doing and be able to get access to it. So we can never have too much of that. And as I say, enough encouragement to make sure that women, teenage girls, children whose parents are going to drop them off to do an activity feel sure that they can exercise in safety.
I'm Stuart Ramsey, and I'm Sky's chief correspondent.
Well, Wall Street broke its four-day losing streak last night, but stocks in the Asia-Pacific region still found the going tough overnight. Shanghai finished more or less unchanged, but the Hang Seng in Hong Kong fell by nearly 1%, while the Nikkei in Tokyo completed its worst weekly performance in nearly 3 months. The stocks in Europe have been trying to stage a rally this morning. Here you go, here's the current picture. All of the main continental European indices in positive territory right now. Here in London, the FTSE 100 also just about keeping its head above water as well, currently 2/3 of 1% higher, led by the oil majors. Other FTSE gainers this morning include Avast. That's after the Competition and Markets Authority cleared its $8.6 billion takeover by the US rival Norton LifeLock. Avast, of course, a cybersecurity company that we've had on the programme in the recent past. Among the fallers, the house builders Barclay Group, Barratt Developments and Persimmon, all leading the leaderboard in terms of the fallers. That's following broker comment. Outside the FTSE 100, the asset manager Ashmore Group shares up by 4.75% there on its latest financial results. On the foreign exchange markets, well, the pound has staged a modest recovery against the US dollar. Currently, it's up about 0.1%. It's lower against the euro, as you can see there. A lot of the focus later on today is going to be on the latest US jobs data, which comes out this lunchtime, 1:30 in fact, our time. As for the oil price, well, that's rebounded after its recent lows. That is ahead of an expected decision later today from G7 finance ministers on a price cap on Russian oil exports. A barrel of Brent crude will currently set you back $94.59 a barrel. That is up just shy of 2.5%. Well, joining me now is Victoria Scholar. She's head of investment at Interactive Investor. Welcome to you, Victoria. Tell me about these house builders. Big downgrade from HSBC. What have they said?
That's right. We're hearing from HSBC that it's downgraded a series of stocks in the house builder sector, the biggest one being Barclay Group, which it downgraded from a hold to a sell. Some of the others, like Persimmon and Barratt, it's downgraded from a buy to a hold, essentially slashing price targets across the board. So that's why Barclay Group was down by more than 5%, languishing at the bottom of the FTSE 100. It's clear that the prospect of a looming recession, tentative signs that the housing market is starting to cool, rising interest rates, as well as underlying build cost inflation are really creating a difficult environment for investors in the sector who are largely eschewing the sector. That's despite the fact that there is still this major imbalance between demand and supply of housing. But we're seeing these stocks struggle today, and they've already been under pressure essentially since the onset of war in Ukraine. I think Barclay Group is down by about 30% off the highs.
Yeah, big call from HSBC, that. Now, obviously, sterling has been in the wars. It's had a pretty terrible August. It's rallied this morning, but, I mean, where do you see the sort of long-term traffic right now in the pound?
I think that the long-term traffic remains to the downside. It's at risk of hitting the lowest level in about 37 years against the US dollar. It briefly dipped below 115 last night, which is the lowest level since the Brexit referendum. There are concerns about the strength of the UK economy. We know that international investors are not particularly interested in investing in the FTSE or the pound at the moment. On top of that, on the other side of the ledger, there is very strong demand for the US dollar, underpinned by aggressive interest rate expectations in terms of rises from the Federal Reserve, both in September and going ahead. So those two factors are putting a lot of pressure, downside pressure, on the pound against the US dollar that could potentially extend in the coming months.
Now, obviously, you mentioned the Fed there. Obviously, foremost in its mind will be the US jobs numbers that hit the screens this lunchtime. What are you expecting?
Well, for the headline non-farm payroll figure, we're looking for around 300,000, just above that, maybe 310 or 320. That's for August, which would be a sharp decline from that very strong number we had in July, which topped 500,000. But the unemployment rate is expected to remain low, 3.5%. That is a very tight labour market in terms of historic standards. But I think a lot of investors will be paying close attention to this average hourly earnings figure, because that will give us some clues into how wages are playing into the inflation discussion, because we know that wages have been on the rise, and that's adding to that inflationary pressure in the economy. But we had the ADP private employment report out on Wednesday. That was softer than anticipated. Sometimes it can be a precursor to today's non-farm payrolls report. So perhaps there could be a miss in terms of today's headline figure.
All right, Victoria, got to leave it there. Good to see you this morning. Thank you. Well, still to come here on Ian King Live, how the pandemic might have made us more adventurous when it comes to booking holidays. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
There. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world not just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
The best radio show.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and The Morning Show.
This is
UK.
Starr Radio
UK.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Welcome.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade. Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands.
Okay, hello, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to welcome you to the Friday edition of the morning show. Today is Friday, the 2nd day of September, the year 2022, with the time now 10:40.
You are God. You will never change. You remain the same.
And I'm taking this opportunity to say good morning to my team this morning. Mr. Olayomi, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, Mr. Frank Davis working behind the scenes, and Mr. Francis Guy, my able producer. I say massive welcome to you all. Welcome to the show. But I'm saying good morning to Amaya Jirgani all the way in Niger. Miss Gold in UAE. To the one and only, there's still the reigning champion Anthony Adedeji. In the US as well, Aziz in the US. Good morning to you all. Do me a massive favor, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages.
You make a dog fade, and that's what makes you great. You are God. You will never.
And let me also say good morning to Sir Moses. Wherever you are, massive good morning to you. To our listeners in the US or the Americas, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia and on the African continent, I salute each and every one of you and I welcome you to the show.
Great are you, Lord. Greatly to be praised.
I'm saying protocol observed.
Great are you, Lord. Great are
Playing in the background, something from Edith Morrison. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. The Lord is great, isn't he? But I remember the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Love for you runs deep.
So by one program outline, this is how the program will go for today. I'm going to bring you the quote of the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. Then exactly at 11 o'clock, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. We'll go on from there exactly at 12 o'clock. The lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. We'll be looking at all the other stories making the rounds across the globe, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. If it's making the headlines, why not? For sure, we're going to be touching on it.
Yesterday and forevermore.
And that will continue till 12:30 when we have our money man himself, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, joining us to bring you the money hour. Then after that, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that's what's going to happen today. So once again, I say welcome to the show. To those of you on the Facebook, those of you on YouTube, those of you on the Twitter, Periscope, and those of you on the Star Radio K app, I salute each and every one of you. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Those of you on the YouTube, thank you very much. Subscribe to our YouTube page, and every time we are on, you wouldn't miss a thing there. Okay, so moving on straight. The quote of the day says, "Try successful people." My apologies. Truly, successful people have only one character. That is to win. Love for you runs. Now let's move on straight to the weather front. Let's see what is happening on the weather front. So on the weather front today, yes, Friday, interesting one. Now this afternoon there will be a mix of variable clouds, sunshine, and few isolated showers. There is a chance of the odd rumble of thunder. A warm and humid day expected as well. Now this evening we'll see some late sunshine and the showers will slowly ease away. It will be largely dry and clear overnight, but the breeze will pick up a little later. A mild night expected as well. Top temperature is going to be 25 and the lowest 15. Now come the weekend, this is how the weather is going to be for you. For Saturday, those of you who have events on Saturday, you will see a dry and sunny start to the day. Cloud will develop in the afternoon along with a few isolated heavy showers. A warm and humid day once again there. And it's all coming your way from Star Radio UK, the Friday edition of the morning show, the weather update. You make a now on Sunday as well, this is how it's going to be for you. So on Sunday, we will see some sunshine in the morning, but a few spells of rain may move in from the west. Later on, it will become a little breezier as an area of low pressure moves in from the west. So in a gist, that's how the weather is going to be for you over the weekend. So if you are planning anything, I think I'll give you a word of advice there. But wherever you are, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Okay, let's take a quick commercial break, and once we come back, we'll be looking at the travel update. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Keep your eyes on the roads, and keeping updated. I promise I'll born the Star Radio travel update that comes to you every day from 10:48. Now, from 10:40 it's now 10:48. Okay, let's move on to the travels. On the underground, good service throughout, apart from the London Overground has got a few issues there. DLR has got good service. London Trambling, good service there. But on the London Overground, severe delays between Stratford and Richmond Clapham Junction due to earlier overhead wire problems in Kentish Town West area. But good service on all other London Overground routes. London Underground are accepting tickets via any reasonable routes. Now moving on straight to the major roads in London. A4, A41, Central London Red Route, South Circular A205 have all got closures. North Circular A406 has got serious delays. So check before you leave. If you happen to be caught in there, continue to listen to us, because as and when there are any changes, we'll bring it to the fore. On the river bars as well, assuredly, yes, good service throughout, apart from the Woolwich area that's got a reduced service. Now let's move on straight to the National Rail as well. Now on the National Rail, Avanti West Coast has got reduced service. Chiltern Railways minor delays, and then we have Great Northern minor delays, and then we come to Greater Anglia minor delays there as well. London Overground, we did talk about that. Disruption between Gospel Oak and Dalston Kingsland, and then we've got Northern Line that's got minor delays as well. Now on South Western Railway, there are disruption between Salisbury and Yeovil Junction. Now, First Transparent Express has also got amended timetable and service disruptions there as well. Now, on Transport for Wales, there are minor delays. But that aside, all the others have got good service there. And as I will say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your coming for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur. and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The hole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Okay, welcome back to the program. Yes, that was a very lovely long break, and I hope that you managed to get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. And as I say all the time, well, depending on which area that you are, get yourself seated. If you are standing, hold on to something, because the journey at times gets bumpy, but you are rest of one thing for sure, that you're going to get your destination in peace. With me at the helm of affairs, I promise you one thing for sure, you'll be having a wonderful day. Okay, so it's now time for the global trotting. When it comes to Nigeria, once we happen to line on lots of the stories is going to become your way. Breaking, who will help PDP lose election? That's what Wike is saying. But I thought that they had a meeting here in London sometime last week or thereabout, and then we thought that they ironed out their differences. But it looks like he's still on his path, especially when some people, he was saying over the weekend that some people were threatening him, some big hooks. Well, so we'll be looking into that. Why Tinubu has to be the most careful among presidential candidates? Well, Dele Aleke is saying we'll find out exactly what he's talking about. Northern Elders disclose who the region will vote for. Interesting. Well, we'll be looking at that. Well, are they all that stereotype that whatever the leader says, that exactly they're going to do, not necessarily depending on the policies that the various groups have got. Now, we have recovered 1.1 million salary paid to 3 non-staff finance ministry in response to Auditor General's report. How and who were those people? You say you've recovered it. Where did it go to? We want to know about that. What do you think? Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Now, moving on straight, city depreciation of Oriental performing magic. Archie Jacob, is he being, what do we call it? Sarcastic or what? Well, I'll be bringing you more on that front as well. Now, when it comes to other parts of Africa, migrant center in Lampedusa is overcrowded. Now, South Africa's justice confirmed systemic exploration ban for Shell. Okay, well, so we'll see about that. A new U.S. ambassador arrives in Sudan after 25 years of absence. And what is that going to fare for them? Is that going to change the fortunes of the Sudanese? That's one thing that we're going to be looking at. Well, Zambia wins IMF board approval for 1.3 billion loan. Well, are they going to throw a kinky party at what's done in Ghana as well? I'm not very sure about that. 374 academic programs at University of Ghana unaccredited, Auditor General is saying. So what are the people being trained for? What are the qualifications that they are getting for? I mean, if they turn it out into any job front or any companies, are they going to actually be accepted on board or what? Well, this is a lot more we're going to be looking at. A minute after 11 the time. While in other world stories, gun jams during bid to kill Argentina's vice president. And I think that woman, I think if there's somebody who we can say that there is faith or hope for her, or God was on her side, that is it. I can see a picture of it. Now, a gun jams during bid to kill Argentina Vice President Cristina Fernandez. The Kirchner escapes unharmed after a gunman's weapon jammed at the last moment. Okay, Yomi, we'll see to that. Okay. Let's see to that. Okay, Yomi, it's on Starr Radio UK. Go to the Starr Radio UK one itself. Starr Radio UK itself. Yes, yes, it's there on Starr Radio UK. So search for that one, you find it. Thank you. Now, Aung San Suu Kyi sentenced for election fraud. The former opposition leader faces a raft of charges. Her supporters say are politically motivated. All right then. Still coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and then moving on straight to some other stories making the round. Biden says Trump's ideology threatens U.S. democracy. The president says Trump supporters want to take the U.S. backwards. Republicans say Biden betrayed America's trust. How has he done so? Well, what do you think is going to happen on that front? More of that be coming your way. It is already UK. UK former ambassador has been jailed in Myanmar. It comes after Miss Bowman and her husband were arrested for violating immigration laws. Which law is that? A former ambassador? Wow. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. And please apology over flawed Halliwell murder probe and some other stories there as well. School uniform logos could be scrapped in Wales. Well, if that will bring the prices for this thing down, that is what will bring the prices of uniforms down, then why not? Well, that's what parents will say, okay? And I think I'm saying that for them as well. It is all Starr Radio UK. Adesina Adeyemo, welcome Koiki and Starr Radio UK. Bravo, regards Bishop Adesina. Bishop, we salute you. We hope you are doing very, very well. Thank you very much for joining us as well. Okay, we're going to take a break. And once we come back, I'll be having Miss Olayomi Koiki joining us. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Enjoy this song from Pastor Theodora Boache Ansa and Morg. It says, I will dwell.
Here at your feet.
Starr Radio UK. All around the world.
Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 6 minutes past the top of the hour. And of course, it's the Friday edition of the morning show. And as you know, every weekday from 10 exactly to 1 o'clock, we bring you the morning show. Apart from Wednesdays, where at 12 o'clock we cross over to the House of Parliament for the Prime Minister's question time. Next week, it will be resuming live with a new Prime Minister. Okay. At this juncture, it is my singular honor to welcome the one and only Esther, the reigning champion, the White Lion, Mr. Olayomi Koiki with us. And I say, Yomi, massive good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe. I say welcome once again to your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, as we're just about to kickstart with the update from Nigeria as usual again. Being the end of the week, some people get paid every Friday, but I'm not sure whether a lot of people get paid in Nigeria after working for the end of the month, which was just yesterday. But right here in UK, depending on your timeline or your part-time job or full-time job, I'm sure some people are smiling to their bank account this morning. But we are here again to do what we do best, giving all the news, the update as Nigeria continue, to face its own turmoil, as we say all the time. In Nigeria never happened to you.
Well, you see us, that means that Nigeria hasn't happened to us, and we hope that wherever you are listening to us from to, Nigeria hasn't happened to you. And those of you that unfortunately Nigeria has happened, do you think there is a need for us to just go away? If things are falling apart and the center cannot hold, what do? We want to have your take on that. Well, so once again, welcome on board. There's a special program that comes away every Wednesday at 18 hours. That is the Niger Voices, that is hosted by Mr. Olayomi Koiki. You want to talk everything in Nigeria, that geographical area, make sure you're on that. And I can tell you that you are given all the opportunity to do so. But now, let's move on to some of the stories making the rounds. Yes, NNPC can justify 6.34 trillion petrol subsidy. That's what the customs are saying. Now, this is a country where we are talking about the fact that the UN was appealing for 1.2 or 3 billion for the northeast, where people have been displaced. Meanwhile, in our own bedroom, we are wasting such amount of money. Yomi.
Well, in our own bedroom, we're wasting such amount of money. The question is, who are those benefiting from the subsidy? Is it the citizens? Is it just the layman that use I better pass my neighbor generator, to do their own little small businesses, as we know in Nigeria? Who actually is benefiting that the government is investing so much when it comes to the subsidy in Nigeria? And you're quite right, as we all say, the NNPC, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, has become something to talk about. According to the Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Services, Colonel Ahmed Ali, retired, has stated that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, formerly Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, cannot justify the volume of the premium motor spirit petrol being consumed in the country daily to warrant over 6.34 trillion subsidy payment on the commodity annually. So what that literally means, in a layman, is that are we really using this total amount of premium motor spirit known as petrol in Nigeria today? Ali, in his presentation to the House of Representative Committee on Finance that was taking place as the 2023-2025 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper in Abuja yesterday, argued that the NNPC cannot scientifically prove the 98 million litre per day consumption it was claiming, alleging that the nation's oil company was supplying an excess of 38 million liters of PMS daily. The committee had asked Ali about the light deficit of about 11 trillion to 12 trillion into 2023 budget as proposed. The question that a lot of Nigerians are asking this morning is, who actually is the beneficial of these, subsidy in Nigeria? I will come back again to you in the studio once again if you just join us at exactly 11 minutes past 11 a.m. in London, the 2nd of September 2022. Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Now, Yomi, interesting. You meant to say that the fuel that petrol, diesel, or that people buy for their better my neighbor and stuff like that, government subsidizes it?
Oh yes, and the government literally have been doing that. Not just this particular government, the PDP done the same thing, throughout the 16 years. It has always been, subsidizing it, and that literally means that the prices at the point of the end user is a bit reduced. But the question and the argument is, are we truly using up to their total amount that we are being told that we are using? And we're talking about almost 98 million liters per day. Are Nigerians really using 98 million? Because that means for every 1 liter the government is subsidizing it.
Interesting. Let me say good morning to James Michael. Yes, thank you very much for joining us. It is the Friday edition of the morning show with me, Mr. Olayomi. I'm Archie, and we are looking at updates from Nigeria. Now let's hop on straight to Wike. It seems that I thought that Wike they had a meeting here in London, and I thought that everything had been ironed out nicely for the party, so PDP was going to just sail through easily. But it looks like that is not what is happening. He's threatening. Yesterday I did talk, I think after the update I saw some other updates where no, it was during the update that I did mention that he said that some big hooks were threatening him. Okay, some big hooks in the PDP were threatening him. But it looks like he's gone on further to say that he's going to make sure that the PDP loses the 2023 election. What's happening with Wike?
Well, Wike, continue to be a bigger obstacle for the PDP. As is an obstacle to the PDP, it could also be an opportunity maybe for the APC or the Labour Party. Atiku, I'm sure, will continue to have sleepless nights with Wike. And the reason why this pressure is on is because Wike would have expected that he will be picked up as the vice president, running just behind Atiku, but rather Atiku have decided to pick somebody else. The crisis between the People's Democratic Party, according to the national chairman Ayu, and the Rivers State Governor Nelson Wike has become more deepened yesterday, with the governor taking a swipe at the PDP national chairman. Wike, at the inauguration of Omerelu Internal Roads in Ikwere local government area of his state, alleged that the chairman actions had clearly shown that he did not want the party to win 2023 election next year. The governor said the national chairman wanted the party to lose. We will help you. Ayu had an interview on the BBC Hausa service on Tuesday, dismissed the clamor for his resignation by Wike and his loyalists, describing them as youngsters who lacked the knowledge about how the party was formed.
Well, youngsters who lack the knowledge of how the party was formed, they have that same old mentality, and that's what they still want to run with. Well, the youth are rising up. Now, what do you think is going to happen in that election? Time now, 14 minutes past 11. Now, let's move on straight to what Kuka's statement pertaining to the president and Nigeria needs. Now, so we see Wike doing everything. So, it's not taking PDP can lose the election. Okay. Now, APC, somebody has been warning Tinubu that Tinubu has to be careful. He needs to be very, very careful. If not, that's it. So, what Kuka is saying, what does he really mean? Who is he looking at this time round?
Well, most of the religious, leader, as we know, is always the time to, give either prophecy or also advice. Nigerians, like we say, that's for those that still believe in Nigeria, because some of us have literally, not to believe in Nigeria, because Nigeria, as we know, is not a country that was not meant to work. It was a mixture of 371 ethnic groups, by the British in 1914. But the Archbishop of Sokoto, Diocese Bishop Matthew Kukat, I saw, also dancing Buga, one of these music that is trending currently in Nigeria and outside, most African countries, while he was celebrating his 70th birthday. I was also giving an insight to the type of leaders, particularly the person that should be elected by Nigerians as the next Nigerian president. He said, and I quote, that the important for Nigerians to move away from voting based on ethnic, religious, or political sentiment and vote for someone who is capable of tackling the perennial challenges facing the country. And this is the problem. If you're saying that we should not vote on ethnic and religious, that literally shows that we are not one. That means that we have different ethnicity, we have different religions, we have different culture, but yet it will be difficult. Let's look at those that are campaigning to become the next president. Atiku, a Fulani Hausa man from the northern part of Nigeria. We have Tinubu, a Yoruba man from the southwest part of Nigeria, and we have the Labour Party, Peter Obi from the southeast. Those the northerners do not believe that Peter Obi will be so loyal, in the sense that he might have this belief of the Biafra, even if he's not saying it. Those from the southeast will probably not believe Tinubu, because they believe that a Yoruba man going in there might not do the needful. So when this kind of statement is coming out, especially from those that are well-respected men of God, Kuka, who was given this insight during an interview with one of the mainstream media today, maintained that though the frontline candidates are individually qualified to lead the country, I'm not sure about that. It was important for Nigerians to see through them and choose wisely. The question is, who do you choose among these three different ethnic individuals, like I've just given the breakdown, to bring unity, to bring what we are calling, that true federalism that we were given, when we got the 1960 independence, where it becomes where a particular tribe has now overshadowed almost all the other ethnic groups as well. This is the question, as we are now almost some few, let's give us the breakdown before, as we do on Starr Radio UK, 161 days, 13 hours, 41 minutes for Nigerians and the indigenous to decide their fate in what is known as Nigeria today, after 62 years of living together.
Well, would the election hold or not? We want to know your take on that. Those of you on YouTube, feel free to post your comments there. It's all active there. And those of you on Facebook as well, continue to post your comments there. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. I'm Archie in our South studios with Mr. Olayomi in our North studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. Now, Buhari APC worsened Omo Agege's chance of winning 2023 Guba election, the Delta government is saying. Now, who is Omo Agege? And what is the Guba election all about? How important is it when it comes to the whole of Nigeria?
Well, that is, being a governor of a particular state. Omo Agege was also someone that have been part of the Ninth Senate, if I'm right, which is the one that is just finishing right now. He's a politician, as his name is Obarisa Ovia Omo Agege. He's a Nigerian lawyer, a politician who is currently the deputy president of the Nigerian Senate. He's a senator that is representing Delta State. But what most of them do is, when they finish their term as a senator, they want to come back and become a governor. And I'll give an example. There's a particular one that is currently there. He was there prior to becoming a governor. I'm talking about, the senator Amosu. He's left as a senator, run back to become the governor of the state, and then after going out of the state, he's run back again to become the senator, and he's also a member of the APC. But it seems that some individuals believe that according to this article, President Muhammadu Buhari of the APC has worsened Omo Agege's chances of winning 2023 governorship election in Delta State. Again, I can always say, that is if an election will hold in Nigeria come 2023. It will take a miracle for him running under the platform of APC to be able to win, the commissioner stated. According to the Commissioner for Information in Delta State, Charles says that Ovia Omwagege, the gubernatorial candidate of the APC, needs a miracle to win the state in 2023 general election.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koike in our North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, and we are looking at some of those stories. Now, let's look at this story as well. Now, I remember when you were in Nigeria and we spoke to Captain, I've forgotten his name, Captain John, yes. And he was talking about, having other source of exports from Nigeria. So we're looking at farm product now, produce. Now we know that because of all these terrorist activities that seem to be going on, kidnapping and everything, it's made farming gone down. Therefore, produce that is supposed to be coming out from the farms are not as much as it is. Now, to add insult to injury, now we have the EU that is banning importation of Nigeria beans on account of containing a high level of pesticide.
Well, it's not the first time that we are, I'm not surprised when I saw the news as I was just preparing, to join you this morning, because apparently, while the British was part of the EU, we were also having the issue bringing in, beans to UK. And I was very close to those that were doing those kind of businesses. And what they were actually doing was they would probably have to move them to Ghana and then, move them back here to UK. Whether as we know, Ghanaians have different relationship as its own sovereign nation, to the international community. But you will expect again that we could have used our beans, that is one of the best beans in the world, to be exported, packaged properly, and then delivered to your doorstep without any hindrance. But according to the headline, the United States of America, the European Union have now banned on Nigerian beans export remains, according to the federal government. This has been going on as far back as 2015. The European Union banned the importation of Nigerian beans on the account of containing high level of pesticide, considerable harmful to the health. And this was why we couldn't have enough of the beans circulating around the world. But it was still going through, but probably not from Nigeria. The federal government says the European Union, the United States of America export ban on Nigerian beans remains, but hopes it will be lifted. Hopes is the same messages that Nigerians have been giving, since 1960. Some are now in their 62 years old and they're still waiting for that hope. The same hope that they were told that Nigeria go better is still the same hope. You will expect that a serious government for the last almost, 2015 till date would have looked at what is the problem, what are the issues, do we need to train more farmers in terms of using this pesticide, that will then not become harmful, to citizens that are going to be, consuming this particular, meal. I love beans and it's got a lot of protein. It's one of my favorite food, but to buy it in UK has become more expensive. It has now even become, the other ethnic groups that are, we don't want to mention their names, that are taking over the business from us in terms of the importation of the beans. This could have helped local farmers from any part of Nigeria today to make forex, and that means helping the government as well back home. But I guess a government that is not serious will never be serious. A government that is not looking into, making money back, apart from, almost 11 trillion, like we said, has been spent on subsidy. Beans that is being used for all kind of different meals that you can think of. If you talk about the beans cake, you can use it for that. You can use it to cook, direct without any other things. You can cook it with, with rice. You can cook it with, you can make it as a moi moi as well. So, and these are nutrition meal that can be served in most Nigerian restaurants today, but probably even if it's done properly, we could push it into McDonald's. But as you can tell, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Abubakar, disclosed this during the Standing Inter-Ministry Technical Committee briefing on Agro Zero Reject Initiative yesterday.
Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North Studios. I'm Archie here in the South Studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. Now, let's move on to one other story. I mean, the one that you've just posted. We're talking about cases by transatlantic slaves responsible for Yoruba nation's retrogression. Now, what I want a bit of a background there. Yesterday, I was watching, I think, on Facebook or one of the listens that you posted. Is it about a year ago when Chief Sunday Igboho was doing some of the rallies that were having, and then when I don't know which particular town or city that they went to, and the crowd, the way they were mobbing.
That was Ekiti State rally. That is still one of the the best rally that a peaceful one, but the one you're talking about is the Ekiti rally. Yes.
Yeah. So I was watching it all, and I was saying, so what exactly is happening? Are we seeing that same momentum? Though he is not in the country, and some of the leaders are not in the country, yet we have people on the ground. Do we have the same momentum? So somebody will say that is because of everything that is going on. People think that, look, let's live and let's have our own destinies in our own hands and do whatever we want to do with it. But this is what Akintoye is saying, that there are cases by transatlantic slaves responsible for Yoruba nation. What are they talking about?
Well, Professor Banji Akintoye, and we'll see if we can get, the technical team to just give us his image, at the back, is the leader of the Yoruba self-determination movement, right there, as he believes that the Yoruba are one people, one language, and one culture, and Yoruba on the march again. He's actually put a press statement, 2 days ago, but we actually just got it filtering through the media right now. Caused by transatlantic slaves responsible for Yoruba nation retrogression. What does that mean? The Yoruba nation self-determination struggle. Professor Banji Akintoye on Sunday attributed the retrogression in the Yoruba to causes placed by the transatlantic slave trade in the Yoruba land. Let me take us a little bit back. I mean, I visited the slave museum in Liverpool last year, and if you go in that building, you can feel not just from the Yoruba kingdom as it was known then, because there was nothing called Nigeria up to the 1914, and you go into the Ghana, you go into other Sierra Leone, other African countries where there is, but we know that the majority of slaves were taken away from the southwest and likewise the southeast as well. So according to him, he's noting that some of the victims of the slave trade cost the future generation of Yoruba people over the unholy collaboration between the then leaders of the Yoruba people and the Portuguese and the Dutch businessmen who came to Africa for the business of slave trade in the 18th century. And when we talk about the Yoruba kingdom, a lot of people do not understand that this is a kingdom that have been, for a very long time, older than so many countries that are not even up to the population of our, town center or villages back home. Akintoye, in an open letter to the Yoruba people through his communication office, says the spirit of those sold to Europeans as slaves are behind the lack of growth, development, progress, peace, and unity in Yoruba land. Akintoye, a renowned historian, explained that more than 1 million Africans, including Yoruba people, were exported to Europe and America as slaves by the Europeans in the 18th century through Porto Novo, with them kingdom in the present day Benin Republic, where Chief Sunday Adeyemo and himself have been staying in the last 1 year because the federal government wanted to assassinate both of them. Through the collaboration of some local warriors, he said the cost placed on the Yoruba people by the victims of the transatlantic slave, many of whom jumped into the Atlantic Ocean during their first trip to Europe and America, needs to be cleansing for the Yoruba people to enjoy God's favor, cohesion, unity, and progress.
Wow, interesting. I don't know. Do you believe in that? Because somebody would say, if that is something that is actually working, then the white man who came to I mean, actually buy the people, dump some of them into the seas, maltreated them, killed most of them as well, and enslaved them, they should be seeing worse off case in their lands. But you look at the developed world, look at them, they are flourishing perfectly. So where do you stand on that?
It depends on it's a very, very technical one, because the Yoruba has a very strong culture, and when it comes to these particular issues in terms of those that have been tortured, I mean, they were not actually thrown in. These individuals were thrown in. I was reading a history where during those time as well, some Igbo women took over the ship and they all sank themselves right inside the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, wow.
Rather than being taken away as a slave.
Okay.
But the spirit, as we all believe, depending on your faith and your culture. But we, the Yoruba, have a very strong belief that some of the reasons why we're all coming out right now is also part of that. That it seems that something is now igniting the Yoruba people. Yes, it's quite right to say the other part of the world, like the the Europeans, are not looking into that. But we know that as the Yoruba people, with our own culture, with our own tradition, that if the situation that we are facing right now does not allow us to go through, there will be a lot of problems, spiritually, if you want to look at it that way. But some might say, but how did you even allow the Europeans to take you away from the territory of your kingdom? Again, it was that trust that we put in the custodian stool that decided that some of us needs to be sold off, and I'm talking about sold off for just a mirror. And that is part of the history that a lot of people never know today.
Even a mirror is better than those who just were sold off for alcohol or tobacco. Just a bit
and that is still actually happening. I was watching a BBC documentary I think yesterday, in the Arab countries. Most of those that are working there do not even know that they're already being put on the market on the app, to be sold. I'm not sure whether you've seen that video.
No.
And it's I mean, what actually happens is we have a lot of Africans, especially whether from the Yoruba side that are working in the Arab country, and they are those that have employed them have now actually put them on the app to sell them off again.
Wow, that is slavery. That is slavery. Well, those of us who believe in spiritual things, I mean, religious things, will tell you that yes, if there's something of that sort that has happened, I mean, there should be something we call pacification. I mean, if there are Christians, they'll tell you that you need the blood of Jesus to actually, cleanse you. I mean, and also that you need to have some sacrifices to actually, mend whatever. But we hope that the leadership are looking into all that and make sure that the journey out will be a perfect one. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning to Felix, my brother Felix, all the way in Aberdeen. I hope you are doing very, very well. Long time no here. Okay, now let's move on to one other story. 11.9 billion of public funds were carted away from the treasury of Kwara State between 2011 and 2019. Has Kwara State been able to pay its workers at the moment?
Well, just as any other state, they are struggling, when it comes to the payment of the staff in those particular region. Kwara State is in the southwest of Nigeria. Kwara State, as we know today, also has a very population. I'm just looking at the population. It's about almost 3.2 million. So this again is a Yoruba land, as we say, as against Estonia that is at 1.3 million, and they have their own nation. But it is not just a state, but also a state that is going through a lot of crises, with almost 11 billion that have been stolen. Since almost 11.9 billion that have been stolen from Kwara State in the 8 years, according to report. At least 11.9 billion naira of public funds were carted away from the treasury of Kwara State between 2011 and 2019 without any lawful tie to any project or program, according to a forensic audit report as revealed. The audit report commissioned by the state government revealed that 2 billion naira cash withdrawals not tied to any project or official expenditure were made within 8 days in February 2019, barely 1 month to the general election. You can imagine what that purpose is meant for. The chief press secretary of Kwara State Governor Rafiu Ajakaye said this in a statement yesterday. According to him, the revelation came during the submission of the report to Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, the professionals, a leading consultant firm who conducted the audit. You will wonder, was this deliberate? And if 11 billion was removed from the state coffer for 8 years, would then face the consequence of that? That shows that the local government will be affected. The teachers will not be paid. Schools will not be taken care of. A few highlight of findings may be necessary for record. The forensic audit revealed a COSA preferring of 11 billion, which we recommend should be recovered to the public coffer. Similar, we recommend to the state government to prosecute certain officer companies in addition to claiming explanatory damages on transaction totaling 6 billion, amongst other key findings. That's why in Africa, like Nigeria, government is a business center.
Government is a business center. Really, it is. It is Starr Radio UK. Good morning. He said, and thanks for the analysis. Good morning to you, and thanks for being there to listen to us. Post your comments on our Facebook page or YouTube or Twitter or Periscope, whichever platform that you are listening to us from. And for sure, we're going to make sure that your comments are heard or known as much as we can. All right, then. I have Mr. Olayomi Koiki still on. We'll just go back to him for some of the rest of the stories and what is happening on other social media platforms. Over to you, Yomi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Archie. Once again, a very good morning. And as we go straight into some of the other headlines, Igbo vote for PDP Southeast shouldn't be marginalized, Governor Ikpeazu says, according to the headline. Katsina, Buhari regime spent 130 million naira on 6,511 vulnerable people. President Muhammadu Buhari regime says it has begun disbursing 130 million naira grant to over 6,511 vulnerable persons in 34 local government areas of Katsina. Nigerians out of school children now hit 20 million under Buhari, according to UNESCO. As we are all expecting, I was listening to you, uniform are very expensive, things become expensive here in UK, and all our children are getting ready. By this time next week, some of them will be returning back to school. But it seems the other way around in Nigeria, as 20 million children are currently out of school, according to UNESCO. The report was on the website of the UNESCO yesterday, shows that Nigeria has over 20 million out of 244 million out of school children around the world. Some of them are also not just children, but they're also adults that have been out of the university since February this year. An estimate 20 million Nigerians.
Yes. Hold on for a minute. I mean, how many worldwide? How many people are out of school?
You mean in Nigeria?
Now you were talking about how many people? 44 million, and in Nigeria you have about 20 million.
Well, 20 million people out of the 244 million of us.
244.
Yeah.
Wow. Out of the 244, 20 million from Nigeria.
Yes.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Go on, sir.
So, and as we say, I mean, as at some few years ago, it used to be 10 million, but as you can tell, the poverty rate is climbing up very, very quickly. When you look at the, even the war-torn Ethiopia, only 10.5 million people out of school. Follows Nigeria, while Congo and Kenya record 5.9 million and 1.8 million out of school, respectively. But important data gaps have been filled in countries that have large out-of-school numbers, but where no administrative data of good quality has been available for over a decade. So for the last 20 years, there's not a very strong data, but such as Nigeria, with an estimate 20.2 million children and youth out of school. Ethiopia is 10.5 million. The Republic of Congo is 5.9 million. Kenya is 1.8 million. Out of school is the proportion of children and young people in the official age range for given level of education who are not enrolled in pre-primary, primary, secondary, or higher level. A lot of people have also dropped out for reason known because of a lack of support from the government. So we just hope that as more people are going through this, we can only say that the best option is, it seems maybe Nigeria is just too big, to get itself together. Probably maybe when it divides, there'll be more people that will end up going to school. But as we say that, there will also be some people that will also have some bit of opportunity, and that means that Japan has awarded scholarship to 39 Nigerian students. The Japan International Cooperation Agency has awarded fully funded scholarship to 39 Nigerian youth. I can tell you, these ones will never be going back to Nigeria anytime soon after finishing, the scholarship. And this is why we are more concerned that a lot of Nigerians or the indigenous people that are leaving will probably not end up coming back. According to the Japanese ambassador to Nigeria, and they also the ambassador to Nigeria yesterday in Abuja sent off the beneficiaries. 39 students will benefit from 3 different programs, including Africa Business Education Initiative, the SDGs Global Leader Program, and the third program is Partnership for Building Resilience Against Public Health Emergency through Advanced Research and Education. Mr. Matsusunga said the initiative will strengthen the Japanese-Nigerian University and foster Nigerian development across all sectors. Japan and Nigeria have a trade volume that is about $1 billion annually. However, I feel more potential to have more Japanese companies coming here to invest and collaborate with the government and also the UN agency to assist Nigeria to develop more, says the Japanese envoy. So good luck to these 39 individuals. At least they are not longer going to be Nigeria happen to them, because they've actually been given that opportunity that so many Nigerians would like to have today, but that is not coming forth. I'm going to take us straight to the social media this morning, and then we'll come back to you, Mr. Archie, in the studio. Once again, a very good morning, as we have our sister station that is also broadcasting, this live transmission, both on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and likewise on the Mix LR this morning. Nigeria, what is trending? Quite a lot is happening, but we will just go straight with the word Nigeria and see what is coming up. Election fever is still out there. A lot of bashing left and right. Aisha Yusuf, just so we are clear, my number one job is to criticize Peter Obi. Everyone move that needs to be criticized. The second is to support him to win election. My loyalty is to Nigeria, not Peter Obi. I just need someone that can work for Nigeria. Don't get it mixed up. So it seems, Aisha become very popular during the Bring Back Our Girls, and she's been very focused. She's been very active, like I said, depending on what you're looking at. Nafarati, a very big follower of Peter Obi 4 hours ago. If people are criticizing Obedient on Twitter, Omojowa and Ogbeni Dikpo do not have any moral right to criticize anyone. Omojowa, most especially, those are some of the elements who introduced Bile in Twitter, Nigeria. They criticize and call Goodluck Jonathan all manners of names. So the banter is already out there. Peter Obi, according to him, is still in America. We have to ensure that by 2027 general elections, Nigerian diaspora must have a voice. Well, that is if there will be Nigeria by 2027. Let's go and look at what Simon Ekpa is saying this morning, and then we look at what the Yorubas are saying, and then we bring it to the end. As usual, Nnamdi Kanu resolute, uncompromised, firm IPOB Senior Council. Nnamdi Kanu will be returning back, to the court on October 11, where his legal counsel are working tirelessly to see if they can get his bail condition out. The IPOB Senior Counsel Barrister Ifeyi Ejimafo has stated that his noble client Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains very strong in his conviction because he has defied every strategy adopted by the Nigerian state to break his resolve in his pursuit for self-determination, just as they were trying to do with Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, which is the right recognized under our laws and other international laws and instruments. The Ferry Legal Silk stated this in a statement. It was available, in his weekly update on the court order routine visit to IPOB leader who has been in detention at the DSS custody over his activities aimed at restoring the sovereignty of the state of Biafra. So again, Nnamdi Kanu spirit have not been broken, even though he's still in the captivity of the DSS. Just as the expectation was that Chief Sunday Igboho was going to be assassinated by the federal government on the 1st of July. They've nullified the 20 billion naira that should have been allocated to him. The government have denied, however, that nobody was killed at his residence, but he remains very, very adamant that Yoruba nation is the only way out. Ilana UK, a nation characterized all threat and capture below can never progress. Yoruba people have completely detached ourselves from a doomed contraction to lead a good lives in our sovereign Yoruba nation where we will fully enjoy our freedom. Quite a lot is happening over the weekend as usual, as more engagement is happening. More people also coming out as they continue to promote election for 2023. So as we always say, as we're going into the weekend, let's remain very, very focused. As again, if you see anything that is not right, please do report to the nearest security operatives in Nigeria. May Nigeria never happen to us as we're going into the weekend for those of you back in Nigeria. But for me, I'll be back again on Monday for more updates on the Starr Radio UK. But for now, I will leave you with Archie for the rest of the program.
Well, listen to Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi keep bringing us updates from Nigeria. But before we I allow him to go, let me say good morning to Miss Gold. It's a good day. I hope that UAE is good and you're enjoying the hot weather there. Now, I do hear Retimi Williams say the 39 we be from North. Okay, I don't get that very well, but yeah,
the 39 people will definitely be from the northern part of Nigeria. That's what I'm saying.
Interesting. Well, we hope that it was they use merit to do it and not.
I hope so. Yes.
Okay, Bishop Adesina says Professor Akintoye wrote that piece to kickstart reconciliation between the African American Afro diaspora with the Yoruba nation at homeland. Yoruba is wide; it covers almost entire West Africa area. Now it goes on further to say now all cultural practices and languages from Gambia, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, Western Nigeria are all one tongue of diverse tribes linguistically. And I know because there are some languages, some of the Ghana language and some of the Tree, when you speak it, I know you speak it in Yoruba, so at times I try to find out what it means there, but eventually the same thing there. Now Moyiwa Senegal says have a pleasant weekend, or Moyiwa have a pleasant weekend as well. May Nigeria not happen to any of us. Yes, may some good luck come our way, like it happened to this 39. We hope that they are not from the north too. Yummy, before you go.
Well, it is the weekend. Like I say, just if you're traveling around Nigeria, remember the risk of that as well. So plan very well. Move up early if you have to, so that you don't get stuck. With the terrorist activities that might be on one of the highway. Remember that we have almost 177 highways that have become so dangerous in Nigeria. So if you're traveling, please let us remain vigilant. But for now, weekend we'll be having all sort again on Starr Radio UK. But for now, bye for now.
Bye, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, and have a lovely weekend. We'll catch up later. Well, listeners, that was Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. It's now 12 minutes to 12, and it is the Friday edition of the morning show. Let me bring you a lovely tune, and then we continue from there. And this time around, it's a cover version of Bob Marley's song Crazy Ballhead. Yeah, there are some crazy ball-headed people that need to be chased out of the town. Well, if we really want to be able to go on our lives. Enjoy this and I'll be with you.
Just those crazy ballin' all up down. And I build a cabin, and I plan the...
Well, Starr Radio UK, whilst you continue to enjoy the music, let me say good morning to Bola Feleti Oguneke. It's a Yoruba nation now, no going back in Christ Jesus' name. Amen. Amen there as well.
You will take all my corn. You're gonna just us crazy. Just us crazy. Just us crazy ballin'. Just us crazy ballin'. All uptown.
This is Starr Radio UK. All around the world.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Yeah. Build your penitentiary. We build your school. Brand was education to make us the fool. It is your reward for our love. Telling us all we got about. We're gonna chase us crazy. Just us crazy. Just us crazy ballin'. Just us crazy ballin'. All uptown.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Here comes the gunman, coming with his gun plan. We won't take no bribe. We got to stay alive.
The best radio show.
Crazy.
Only the best music.
Just us crazy ballin'. Just us crazy bumpin'. Just us crazy ballin'. All uptown.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and it's now 5 minutes to the top of the hour. That is 5 minutes to 12. Exactly at 12 o'clock. Let me announce the lines open now, okay? Yes, if you want to join in the conversation, it's 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. For those of you in the US, Canada, and the Caribbean area, it is 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can text or WhatsApp us. It's 07539661744. 07539661744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Now let's move on. Let me say thank you very much to all of you on the various platforms watching and sharing your take with us for free, and continue to do so. Yes. You can also critique the program, whatever you want to say. Yes. We take it on and make sure that we bring you the best in everything that we are doing. That's the way. All right then. Now let's move on straight to some other stories. There are powerful forces in society against free SHS, and this time around, Akufo-Addo, the president, is saying. So is it those powerful forces that are stopping the free funds from getting into the SHS for feeding of the kids and stuff like that? Now, President Akufo-Addo says there are powerful forces in the society hoping his government's flagship free senior high school program to fail. Already, there are some who are eager to curtail some of the important initiatives, such as free SHS policy. There are powerful forces in society who are against it and insist that education should be what parents can afford or contribute. But I have a different view. I think the benefit of it to the society and nation are obvious, he said. He said he is aware of such persons and will not allow their agenda to see the light of day. So we keep on prodding on. The president insisted that the free SHS program will survive all such attacks. The policy has been facing some challenges recently. Some of these challenges include shortage of food at the various schools. This has led to a wider conversation around it, many calling for a review of the same. Even though the president initially rejected such calls while meeting the national executive of the National Union of Ghana Students (NUGS) on Wednesday, expressed his readiness to engage in a discussion on the way forward with regards to the free SHS policy. The conversation, according to him, must look at funding, availability of money, access, and other ingredients that must work for the good of the Ghanaian. Now, one of the things people have been calling for is a review of free SHS. I think we should have a broader conversation about the incidence of education on our national development, President Akufo-Addo said. Well, what do you think? Does it need to be reformed? Is everything ticking along nicely? Somebody will say it is vehemently and a big no. All right. So definitely there is a need to relook at it. Now, we're not saying that those who can't afford shouldn't be allowed to be educated because of their background or the fact that today their parents are poor or from deprived communities and therefore they cannot fend themselves and therefore they have to be left behind. No. But the question, the issue is those who can afford, why don't we let them contribute? At least it puts some more money into the pot so that it could be used to still look after these ones. What do you think? Well, it is all Starr Radio UK, but the president is still standing on his promise that look, it is a free SHS and that's what it's going to be in and it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We have dispersed over 500 million Ghana cedis to SMEs Ghana Enterprises Agency CEO has said. Now let's move on straight to one story that concerns those of us in the diaspora. So if you happen to be traveling to Ghana, this round to Ghana from wherever, this is the issue that seems to be going on, especially using the ports. The Ghana Airports Company Limited has revised COVID-19 guidelines for passengers entering and those leaving the country through the Kotoka International Airport. In a statement issued on August 31, 2022, the GACL said the new guidelines will take effect from September 1, 2022, that's yesterday. Now, as regards travelers intending to enter Ghana, the airports company said all international passengers, including those from the ECOWAS region, intending to fly to Ghana will be required to be fully vaccinated. Now, all international passengers, including those from ECOWAS region, must complete a port health declaration form at a website that has been provided before embarkation of flight to Ghana. Now, upon arrival, the GACL outlined that Ghanaians and foreign residents entering Ghana should go through the following processes. 18 years and above arriving in Ghana will be required to provide evidence of full vaccination for a COVID-19 vaccine at the point of embarkation and upon arrival at the Kotoka International Airport. 2. Fully vaccinated will be exempted from pre-departure COVID-19 PCR testing from point of embarkation. Now, fully vaccinated will be exempted from COVID-19 testing upon arrival at the KIA. Now, partially vaccinated or unvaccinated will be required to present a negative 48 hours PCR test result to the airline before embarkation and upon arrival. Now, the next one says partially vaccinated or unvaccinated will undergo COVID-19 testing at the KIA upon arrival. And then partially vaccinated or unvaccinated will undergo COVID-19 vaccination at KIA upon arrival. The new guidelines for non-Ghanaians per the GACL's statements are as follows. At the point of embarkation, must provide evidence of full vaccination status to the airline prior to embarkation. Now, airlines that board non-Ghanaians without evidence of full vaccination will be considered to have violated the COVID-19 guidelines for Ghana and shall be fined $3,500 for such. Now, B says that traveling to Kotoka International Airport with fake or forged vaccination certificates shall be quarantined and returned to the point of embarkation at their own cost. The GAC stressed that all arriving passengers will undergo temperature screening, yellow fever card verification, and COVID-19 vaccination certification as required. So, those are the guidelines that have been given. So, if you are planning to fly to Ghana through the Kotoka International Airport, that is going to be your fate. So, if you have not vaccinated, please get vaccinated before you go on. 3 minutes past the top of the hour at the time. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let's move on. One other story from Ghana, and then we'll move on to other parts of the world. Now, social commentator Bernard Alote Jacobs has praised the financial minister Ken Ofori-Atta for the recent stability of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar. What kind of recent stability is he talking about there? There is it being a sycophant or what? In an interview, Alote Jacobs said that Ofori-Atta is silently working some magic to restore the value of the cedi against the major currencies. He goes on further to say, yesterday I saw the cedi is matching against the dollar gradually. I think that the Minister of Finance speculation can simply destroy the market, and for the cedi to be gaining value at this point implies that the minister is working some magic. Really? Now, if by 2024 the dollar to cedi is it will be one of the greatest achievements of this government. If this happens, we must celebrate the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It will be one of the greatest achievements. And I am hoping so, because the way we have spoken against this minister, finance minister, if we can do this, or if he can do this, it will be one of the greatest achievements, he said in Chi. Now, what do you think? Do you think he can do it? Do you think we have to celebrate him? Do you think that the Minister of Finance is done anything that needs celebrating? Well. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, the health minister, I was going to say health secretary here, that's how we refer to them, but back home there, the health minister said that he didn't see any documents that are forcing authorized payment of the ambulances. So why is that case still going on? If he didn't see it, that means that there's no case. But the story says, because if it is a waste of state funds and everything, the Minister of Health and Kweku Agyeman-Manu, has told the High Court in Accra that he has not seen any documents that Dr. Kezil Atuforsen authorized payments of purchase of ambulances. The minister, who was facing a cross-examination from defense lawyer, made this known on his final day of scrutiny by the defense lawyer. Dr. Abdul Bazit Aziz Bamba, counsel for Atuforsen, had asked if the minister had cited any document at his ministry which indicated that the first accused authorized the payment of the contract sum of the ambulances. The minister, who is the third prosecution witness in the ongoing trial, answered in the negative. It was the case of counsel for Atuforsen that after the LC, that's the letter of credit, was established on August 18, 2014, he had not cited any document that indicated that A1, that's Atuforsen, authorized payments to be made under the LC. Now, Mr. Agyeman-Manu, who is a third witness, agreed with him, saying, I have not cited any document to show that A1 authorized payment for ambulance. Does that mean that that's the end of the case for them? Because virtually that's why he's been trying a case a lot of force, and he's been saying that, look, I didn't, and now the witness, is not the defense, the prosecution's witness has come to debunk that fact. He said, look, I don't have any evidence. I've not seen anything of the sort, unless of course it's been ripped. Now, in the last day of his scrutiny, the minister also admitted that the government failed to send its officials to inspect ambulances it was procuring before they were shipped to Ghana, contrary to the clear claims of the contract. Now, and the further cross-examination from lawyers for Dr. Forsen, led by Dr. Abdulaziz Bamba, on September 1, the defense confronted him with some exhibits, some of which he indicated he had not seen before. Government failure on obligation. The Kweku Agyeman also admitted that the government did not perform one of its obligations under the contract. That means going there to inspect. In my mind, I would say no. But my lady, let me draw your attention to another fact. In that same bullet point, letter of credits on the sites of goods shall be established upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance. But is it that because at the point when its ambulances were supposed to be coming through, the NDC was out of power, and therefore the MPP receiving it, they were supposed to have gone there to maybe go and see to it before its production and stuff like that, yet that wasn't done? Is that what is happening? Well. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time down to 9 minutes past the top of the hour. There was one other story that I really wanted to bring your way. Let me see whether I will see it, and this pertains to 1.1 million Ghana cedis that went. I think some snakes from Nigeria came to swallow it, right? Let me put it that way, because we always concoct something to establish what is going on. But well, okay, I'll do my best to see whether, God willing, Monday I will bring that away, because it seemed to have eluded me. It is Starr Radio UK, It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right, let's now move on to some other stories. Now, still on the African continent, Mozambique reaffirms commitment to bilateral relations with Portugal, and former Senegalese minister could be the new UN special envoy to Libya. Those are some of the couple of stories that I can bring you now. And the story says, the Portuguese Prime Minister and the President of the Republic of Mozambique, Filipe Nyusi, have expressed satisfaction with the resumption of bilateral meetings, and Antonio Costa reaffirmed every commitment to continue working with the African country. Now, this position were taken in the opening moments of the extended meetings of the two delegations at the 5th Luso-Mozambican Summit at the presidency of the Republic of Mozambique, after the two leaders had earlier met on Thursday behind closed doors. On the occasion of the President of the Republic of Mozambique thanked the Prime Minister for accepting the invitation to attend the summit being held today in Maputo. Now, Filipe Nyusi also took the opportunity to congratulate Antonio Costa for his victory in the legislative election of January 30, in which the PS achieved an absolute majority. The interval was very short to organize, but the Portuguese people did not need much time to decide what they wanted most: more stability. My congratulations are more of the for the Portuguese people, who in a serene, exemplary and calm way elected you and the PS to be the head of the country's destiny, pointed out the Mozambican head of state. Well, we want to be working with our masters. Well, it is all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And then one final story there. The UN envoy to Libya could be a former Senegalese minister. Now they think he wells the goodwill to do this job. Now Libya could have a new special envoy by the end of this Friday, according to a letter sent by some of the news agencies. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres plans to appoint a former Senegalese minister to lead efforts towards peace in Libya. If the 15-member UN Security Council approves the appointment by consensus, Abdoulaye Bathily could take up the position immediately. Pending the council's approval, Bathily will replace Jan Corbis, who stepped down last December. Libya has had little peace since the 2011 NATO-backed uprising that ousted longtime autocrat Muammar al-Gaddafi. Well, that's what you call him. But if he was there, do you think we'll see all this chaos that is going on there? Somebody will say no. But well, it is Starr Radio UK. Now, moving on to the international scene, where we've got about another 70 minutes to bring the first part of the program to a close. Now, it is wonderful, and I think this lady will be praying. I think she might have prayed. She'll go to church this Sunday to go and give thanks to God, or if they're a mosque this Friday or today to go and give thanks to God for protecting him or whatever he believes, she believes in. Now, Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner gun jams during bid to kill Argentina vice president. Oluwa Demilare Adam said Adara Funyi Equator. I hope I did well. Oluwa, did I do well? Okay, Argentinian vice president has narrowly avoided assassination after a gunman's weapon jammed as he aimed at her. Now, footage shows the moment Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, surrounded by a mob of supporters, found herself face to face with a loaded weapon. The former president was returning home from court, where she faces allegation of corruption. She denies charges. Now, police said the gunman, who locally identified as a 35-year-old Brazilian man, has been taken into custody. They are attempting to establish a motive for the attack on the left-leaning politician who was Argentina's president from 2007 to 2015 and its first lady for the 4 years before that. President Alberto Fernandez revealed the gun was loaded with 5 bullets but failed to fire when triggered. Now, video circulation on social media shows the gun emerging from the crowd as Ms. Fernandez, the questioner, approaches. She initially appears confused by what is going on, ducking down to retrieve an object dropped on the floor. In another video, people in the crowd appear to try to block Ms. Fernandez, the questioner, from the suspected gunman who came within inches of her. The crowd has been gathering outside her home for the last few nights in a show of support as she fights charges of defrauding the state and being involved in a scheme to divert public funds while she was president. A police spokesman earlier told Reuters news agency that a weapon was found a few meters from the scene after a man had been arrested. Whoops! Close call. That was a close call. Now we can disagree. We can have deep disagreement, but hate speech cannot take place because it breeds violence, and there is no chance of violence coexisting with democracy. Now, President Fernandez said declaring a national holiday on Friday to allow Argentines time to express themselves in defense of life, democracy, and solidarity with our vice president. So they declared a holiday today for Argentines. Now, Argentina's economy minister Sergio Massa called the attempted shooting an attempted assassination. When hate and violence prevail over debate, societies are destroyed and situations like these arise. Attempted assassinations. The question is, what role did she play in this gentleman or this man going through maybe a difficulty or whatever thing that she might be going through at the moment that could cause him to go cuckoos to that extent that you think that I cannot judge, or the only way out is to shoot my way. But what do you think? It's all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, so looking at some of the international stories, a couple of them, and then we'll come to the UK. Now, President Joe Biden, supporters of Donald Trump, are making America Donald Trump make America great again agenda are a threat to democracy, President Joe Biden has said. Now, MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards, he said in a primetime speech in Pennsylvania. Top Republican Kevin McCarthy gave his own address saying Mr. Biden has severely wounded Americans. So the dueling speeches come 2 months before midterm election, which will decide the power balance in Washington. The Democratic president delivered his speech on Thursday night from Independence Hall in Philadelphia, where the U.S. Declaration of Independence was signed. He picked up his 2020 campaign theme of restoring the soul of America. He said he was not condemning all 74 million Americans who voted for Mr. Trump 2 years ago. Not every Republican, not even a majority of Republicans, are MAGA Republicans, he said. But there's no question, Mr. Biden continued, that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans, and that is a threat to this country. Now, Mr. Biden said Trump supporters thought of the mob who stormed the U.S. Capitol last year as patriots rather than insurrectionists. Now, for a long time, he continued, we told ourselves that American democracy is guaranteed, but it's not. We have to defend it, protect it, stand up for it, each and every one of us. In response, Mr. Trump posted a defense of his MAGA slogan and said his rival had threatened America. Now, throughout Mr. Biden's speech, someone was heard heckling and sounding a bullhorn. Mr. Biden addressed the disruption twice, saying the second time, they're entitled to be outrageous. This is a democracy. The president, who came into office pledging to unite the country, has recently sharpened his rhetoric against the supporters of Mr. Trump. Now, last week, Mr. Biden equated what he called extreme Republicans with semi-fascism. What do you think? It's all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Is Trump supporters now a threat to the US? What do you think about that? Well, now let's go straight to Myanmar. In Myanmar, UK's former ambassador has been jailed in Myanmar, Vicky Bowman. The UK's former ambassador to Myanmar and her husband have each been sentenced to 1 year in prison by the country's military authorities. Now, Vicky Bowman and Tien Lin, a former political prisoner, were charged with breaching immigration laws. The couple were arrested last week in their home in Yangon. The case is likely to be about wider political concerns that immigration offences, which for foreigners are rarely prosecuted in Myanmar. Ms. Bowman, a fluent Burmese speaker, is a well-known member of Myanmar's small international community. She first served in what was then called Burma in 1990 as a junior diplomat and returned as ambassador from 2002 to 2006. She now runs the Myanmar Center for Responsible Business based in Yangon. She and her husband were detained when they returned to the city from a home they have in Shan State. Military authorities charged them with both with failing to register her as living at different addresses. Oh my! Give a dog a bad name, you can hang it. That's exactly what the military are doing there. But what do you think? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio, okay? It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The press arrest came as the UK recently announced sanctions against the military authorities in Myanmar. Do you catch my drift? Now, coinciding with the 5th anniversary of its deadly crackdown on Rohingya Muslims in the country, the onslaught in 2017 left more than 6,000 people dead and displaced hundreds of thousands in just first few months, with most of them fleeing across the border into Bangladesh. Now looking back, okay, do you think Aung San Suu Kyi was wrong to be quiet on that particular state? Because the international community were bashing Aung San Suu Kyi that she could have said something, But we now know or see that whatever Aung San Suu Kyi was supposed to say was being determined by the military. So she was just a sort of de facto leader, and the military were the ones who were actually running the country behind the scene. Well, a military-run court in Myanmar has also sentenced Aung San Suu Kyi to a further 3 years in prison on election fraud charges, her lawyers have told some news network. Now, Ms. Suu Kyi, the country's former leader, has now been sentenced to 20 years in prison on 11 counts with several charges remaining. Now, she denies all the accusations, and the trials have been condemned by rights groups as politically motivated. If convicted on all charges, she could face almost 200 years in prison. I rest my case. She will never come out. Oh, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Whoops! Did I say more? Well, it's all Starr Radio, okay? Your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, a couple of stories from the UK front, and then we'll bring the program to a close. Well, Crusader Dick says Sadiq Khan wrongly ousted Met Chief. That's what a report is saying. Okay, so will she be reinstated then? Dame Crusader Dick felt intimidated into stepping down as Metropolitan Police Commissioner after an ultimatum from Sadiq Khan, according to a review. She quit in February when the mayor of London said he had lost confidence in her leadership. Now, Priti Patel asked the then Chief Inspector of Constabulary, Sir Tom Windsor, to carry out a review into the handling of Dame Crusader's exit. Now, Mr. Khan says the review is clearly biased and ignores the facts. In his reports, Sir Tom states that he believes due process was not followed by Mr. Khan and the mayor's office for policing and crime. Now, in the action that they took, which led to Dame Cressida's stepping aside as commissioner, it also notes that the mayor's action were not in accordance with the relevant legislation. Dame Cressida said she had to resign after Mr. Khan made it clear he had no confidence in her leadership. Now, it followed cases of sexism and misogyny among some of Met officers. Now, Dame Cressida, the first woman to lead the UK's biggest police force, also faced criticism over the murder of Sarah Everard by a 7 Met officer last year and a series of other scandals. In his 117-page report, Sir Tom said the mayor, through his chief of staff, gave the commissioner an ultimatum on the 10th of February 2022. If the commissioner did not attend a meeting and convince the mayor that her plan of 4 February 2022 should be improved, he would make a statement to the media. The statement will make clear that he no longer had trust and confidence in the commissioner, and that he intended to start the statutory process for her removal. When the commissioner did not attend the meeting, the mayor's chief of staff reiterated that the mayor's position gave her less than 1 hour to decide what to do. She felt intimidated by the process into stepping aside, and I can understand the reaction. The commissioner felt that in the interest of Londoners and the Metropolitan Police, she had to step aside as a prelude to her eventual resignation. Now, what do you think has gone on? Do you think it was a fair it's not dismissal, a resignation, or what? Do you think she should be brought back, reinstated, or compensated? What do you think will be? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One other story, and then we take you straight to Kent, where we have our man, Mr. Dan Tabiri. So stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Okay. Just bear with me while the stories load for me. Well, Partygate probe is flawed and unfair, says lawyer advising Boris Johnson. Well, so do we need Bojo back? As I've been saying, I said some of us are advocating for Bojo to come back. Bring Bojo back. Bring Bojo back. Hashtag bring Bojo back. Now, an inquiry into whether Boris Johnson misled MPs over Partygate is unfair and fundamentally flawed, a lawyer hired by the government has said. A Commons committee is investigating what the outgoing Prime Minister told the Parliament about COVID rule breaking. Now, Mr. Johnson could be suspended from Parliament or even lose his seat if they rule against him. The government's legal advice strongly criticizes the process, but it cannot halt the inquiry. Mr. Johnson is due to step down as Prime Minister on Tuesday, a day after the winner of the Tory leadership race is announced. Voting in the contest closes at 17 hours today. Now, the soon-to-be ex-Prime Minister could be held before the Privileges Committee, which is investigating whether he lied to Parliament in the autumn. The committee has said it will not take into account Mr. Johnson's intention when he made statements to MPs. But Lord Panic, the top lawyer hired by the government to examine the committee's approach, said it needs to establish that Mr. Johnson intended to mislead the House of Commons. That is, that he knew that what he told the House was incorrect. All right then. So this is where I bring the first part of the program to a close. Now we take some music whilst I take you to Kent, where we have our man. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Radio UK.
Give gorilla bananas to give to monkey. Hey, hey, hey. Give gorilla bananas to give to monkey. You have no see banana, banana, you know banana. Monkey no go see banana, banana, you know banana.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Good afternoon, Archie.
How are you?
Lovely to be speaking to you again this afternoon.
Yes, so lovely to have you on. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, very well. The weather has improved over the last few days or week or so. So trying to enjoy it as best as I can.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So a Zongo man for you.
And one man
bringing you. Where is the dollar? We should be having Mr. My apologies, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, soon with us. And we're going to be looking at the energy bills and other costs of living expenses. So enjoy some of the music, or the rest of the music, whilst we get Mr. Tabiri ready to be on. Where is the dollar? Where is your dollar as well?
Bananas to give to monkey. Hey, hey, hey. Give gorilla bananas to give to monkey. Yes, you know banana, banana, you know banana. Monkey no go see banana, banana.
Okay. Well, listeners, that is a bit from the one and only Zongo Man on this Friday morning. Or afternoon. It's afternoon here in London, and I hope that you are enjoying your weekend, whichever or however it's gonna be for you. But at this time, we have to go straight to Kent, where our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, is and all ready to fire on all cylinders. Well, we are in dire times, and in dire times, you need a good advice or guideline to be able to go through whatever situation and get out of it. All right, then. So we got our main man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, with us. Mr. Tabiri, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Archie. Wonderful coming your way again on this Friday afternoon segment of the Money Hour.
Yes. How are you doing, sir?
Very well. Very good, by God's grace.
Well, good. We thank God. I mean, I know listeners, some are pulling their hairs, others are, virtually panicking and all sorts that seem to be going on. But as I said, in the abundance of water, it only takes the fool who is thirsty. So there's advice and there is encouragement there. That's why we have brought you on, for you to put your wisdom across for us, so that our listeners will be able to go through it. Yes. Let me say good afternoon to Anthony Adedeji, who has also joined us. Anthony, I hope you are doing very, very well. Okay, so Mr. Tabiri, what are we looking at?
Yeah, so as you rightly said, we are in troubled times, and the news is fraught with all sorts of difficulties that are ahead of us. So I thought might be best we've gone through over some of these support schemes that are available, to go over, really take a wider view and go over it again and see what kind of help we can get, especially to cover energy bills, because that seems to be the main focus at the moment. And then there are other things that affect our livelihoods that we can also take a look at and see what we can do, or what steps we can take, what help is out there to help alleviate some of the hardships that are currently pending and is yet to come.
Yeah. Thank you very much for availing yourself to be on the show today, because I know people are waiting for such advice. Okay, so let's kick off.
Yeah, so I'll first start off with the £400 energy discount from the government. So we have received an announcement from the government. Initially, they were meant to give each household £200 to reduce our energy bills, but as things escalated, and then the cap on electricity charges moving the wrong direction, the government has now stepped in to offer more help to households. And we know that every household will receive £400 off their electricity bill. And this is called the Energy Bill Support Scheme. You really don't have to do anything to get the money, and you would not have to pay it back. We have some details, more details as to how it's going to be dispersed. And so we know that you get £400 in 6 installments starting from October 2022. We know that October is when the cap rises, and we will start to see the rise in our energy bills. So you get it in 6 installments. You get £66 in October and November, and then £67 between December and March 2023. So you get the discount monthly, even if you pay your energy bills quarterly or you use a payment card. How you get the discount really depends on how you pay for your energy. So if you pay by direct debit, your supplier would either reduce the amount or the direct debit amount, or refund the money to your bank account each month. So you need to contact your supplier if you can't see the deduction on your bill or statement, or the refund in your bank account. If you have a smart prepayment meter, the payment will be added directly to your smart meter in the first week of each month. So on the first week of each month, if you, let's say, have a prepayment meter with a balance of, let's say, £10, then when you go to that meter, you should see it reading £76 or £77, depending on the month, to show that you got the addition or the credit from the government energy bill support scheme. If you have a traditional, what we call a traditional prepayment meter, you will get a voucher from your supplier. You should expect it either by text, email, or post, or in the first week of each month. Your supplier will confirm how you get the voucher nearer the time, and you'll be able to use the voucher for your own energy account. So you need to take the voucher to your usual top-up point to use it. So if you have to go out to buy top-up on your prepayment meter, then what you do is you take that voucher with you to the top-up point, and they'll be able to credit your account with it.
Okay. Well, listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, this afternoon, trying to, guide us with the necessary information that is available as to how you can help. Government plans to help you beat down the energy bills. The government support scheme that has been rolled out. We know that more is going to be coming on. But Mr. Tabiri, people are saying that look, that 400 will not go far enough, because looking at the percentage of increase and stuff like that, they think that is just a drop in the ocean. Now, what are you going to say, or what do you think government has any plans of maybe coming out with further help?
Well, if you've listened to the news lately, you can hear and you can see the pressure on government to do something or do a little bit more. These measures were announced sometime back, I think almost about 6 months ago, to expect this level of support. But we know what is happening in the UK currently. We expect a new government to be appointed imminently, and so the outgoing government does not want to tie down the new government in a decision on this matter. And so we are all patiently waiting for the new government to take office. And from the campaign trail that is happening at the moment, we haven't had any clear indication as to what sort of help or how much support we can get. What they have all spoken about is to do something for the most vulnerable in our society. We know that people have indicated, or various organizations have pointed out the case that if we are not careful, people might have to turn off the gas meters. At the time when the weather is very cold, because they can simply not afford it. Some homes may have to also choose between heating or eating. So these are decisions for the new government that we expect that certainly something would have to be done. But at the moment, your guess is as good as mine. We don't know exactly what more additional help will be given in this direction.
Well, listeners, if you are listening to us, that is why it's important to listen to us every time we are on. When Mr. Dan Tabiri is on, when it comes to the money issues, now he's going to be bringing you every information and be breaking it down to you for you to get that understanding. Okay, so we know government, there is a promise that they're going to do more. Maybe you don't understand it. No, maybe you are panicking at the moment. Just calm down, let us get that information, and Mr. Tabiri will do diligence to that. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The Money Hour with Mr. Dan Tabiri. He's the CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. Yes, you have any accounting issue, whether self-assessment or as a company, whatever is accounting, just get in touch with him. He will see to give you the best of service, and you will never regret it. Okay, now let's go back to Mr. Tabiri for more on that front. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, so another thing that we have also discussed in the past has to do with the council tax rebate, which has been offered by the government to help support our hardships that everybody is facing at the moment. We know that you can get 150 back rebate on your council tax to help you pay energy bills. Those who qualify, if your council tax band is between A to D, then you would qualify for this rebate. And most people, I would expect by this time, would have received their rebates. So if you haven't, then definitely make contact with your council and then find out how you would get this rebate. If you are the bill payer or the council tax bill payer in your home, it doesn't matter whether you are the tenant or the landlord. So long as you are paying the bill, then you will get the rebate, and therefore you should chase this up and make sure you get your money back.
Just a quick one on that front. Now, some people were asking of that if they happen they are not paying council tax. I mean, they are students, and therefore, or their work is such that it exempts them. Are they also going to benefit from that if they fall in the same category, the same band as those who qualify for it?
Yeah, so students are exempt from council tax, and therefore you are not paying any council tax. So this rebate is to help people get money back off their council tax. So if you do not pay any council tax, then
you don't worry yourself.
You would not qualify for this rebate.
Okay. Right, go on, sir.
Another thing linked to this rebate that has come up is that where if somebody has an overdraft, sometimes if you go into your overdraft, or you don't have an overdraft, or you don't have an overdraft, and your account goes overdrawn, when any money goes into your account, if you don't have an agreed overdraft and your account goes overdrawn, when money goes into your account, the bank automatically takes the amount that you have overdrawn from the money that's been received. In respect of this £150 rebate, the government has ring-fenced this for you to be able to use it to pay energy bills. So you can ask your bank to use the rebate if received to pay your energy bills instead of paying off your overdraft. And this is known as exercising your first right of appropriation. Yeah, so the bank, if you tell the bank, if the bank uses the money for anything else, you can tell the bank that this money is going to be used strictly to pay energy bills, and they will not be able to touch the money.
Oh, okay.
So just a bit of protection.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Find yourself on in that situation. Then there's also what's available, be made available is what we call the warm home discount scheme. The warm home discount scheme. This has not been publicized correctly because a lot of people are not aware of it. So if you get benefits, you may be able to get £150 off your electricity bill, or £150 added to your prepayment meter. You don't need to apply for the scheme, and payments are automatic. But you need to check which energy supplier you were with on the 21st of August 2022, and you can only get a discount if your supplier is in the scheme. And I can name some of these suppliers. If any of these suppliers supply your energy bills, electricity and gas, then you could benefit from the warm home discount scheme. The suppliers are Affect Energy, Boost, British Gas, Bob Energy, Co-op Energy. We have E-Gas and Electricity. We have Eon, Eon Next. We have Ibeco, Ecotricity, EDF Energy. We have Good Energy. We have Green Energy UK. We have London Power, MNS Energy, Octopus Energy, Outfox the Market, OVO, Rebel Energy, Sainsbury's Energy, Scottish Power, Shell Energy Retail, SO Energy, SSE, Utilita, and Utility Warehouse. So that's quite a long list of energy suppliers.
Yeah.
So if you belong to any of these, you can Google, if you've missed any of the lists that I've read, you can Google and find out information about warm home discount scheme, and you can check if your energy supplier is on the list.
And that you said is pertaining to those who are on benefits.
Those who are on benefit. Okay. If you are on any kind of benefit or pension credit, then you will be able to get this. So if you are on, also If you have high energy costs, you get a warm home discount. If you get universal credit, pension savings credit, housing benefits, income-based job seekers allowance, income-related employment and support allowance, child tax credits and working tax credits, and any income support, you would qualify for this warm home discount scheme.
Okay. Wow, interesting. Now, listeners, if you were not listening to this program today, would you have that information? You wouldn't have known. But Mr. Tabiri, now that 150, is it for a year or what?
So this is a one-off credit.
Okay.
Yes, it's a one-off credit of your energy bill. Yeah.
In addition to the 400 or the 650 the government has promised.
Correct. Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is additional to that.
Oh, that's good. Listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, I told you he has got all the explanation for everything that is going on at the moment. So continue to stay tuned whilst he brings you more on it. Yes, let's move on to the cost of living. The cost of living. You go to the shops, everything is high. Are there any supports coming? Is there any support coming through for those in the lower? I mean, virtually those who are in need of support.
Well, what is currently available so far, been made available, is trying to reduce our energy bills. Feeding, living cost of things in the shops and things like that. Definitely, I would say you should if you need help, there are things like food banks which we should be using if we need them. Food banks are all over around us at this time in the UK. There's lots of them. If you don't know any, perhaps you could search online, or if you contact your council. First of all, they should be your first point of call. If you are struggling and finding things really, really difficult, speak to your council and they will direct you to help. They will provide the help that they can provide, and they will be able to, signpost you to other organizations that can support you. In the UK, I'm definitely aware that there are some charities as well who in these difficult times make some grants available to individuals to support us to cater for our living costs. And so, yes, by all means, look around, speak to your council, and see what is available, what help they can get you to be able to see you through these hardship moments that has come upon all of us.
But so interestingly, some listeners were of the view that, I mean, at times when you're trying to go to maybe you said consult the council, your council, and they talk about how difficult it is. So some just want to and then decide to just give up. Now, what should such people do?
Well, if you need help, don't give up. If you can't get through to anybody in the council, I think you should take things further and speak to Citizens Bureau. Citizens Bureau provide guidance and advice for citizens on all sorts of matters. If they can't provide you with the information, they will be able to link you to somebody who can help your situation. I mean, we're living in a country where so long as you have information, you would survive, because you would know where to. The main thing is knowing where to go for help. So don't give up. I would say the council is your first point of call. If that fails, then you're looking at perhaps maybe speaking to the job center to see what help can get you through there. And then if you can't get far enough, then you'll be looking at Citizens Bureau as perhaps your last point of call, where they will certainly be able to, if they can help you, they can point you to where you can get help to support yourself.
Okay. Wow. Listeners, is it Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London? Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, our money man, bringing you the money hour. And today we are looking at energy bills and the cost of living and the support that is available as well. So we'll now leave Mr. Tabiri to bring us the rest of information that he wants to share with us. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, so we also should not forget there are other supports like the winter support for pensioners, especially. There are local energy grants available. Again, this is available through your local council. These are some of their grants in addition to what has already been provided that they can give you help with. Obviously, they will assess your individual situation to see whether you qualify under the terms of these grants and provide you the support that you need. So if you are struggling with anything, don't suffer in silence. There's support out there to look out for. Some of our brothers and sisters, I'm aware that sometimes their immigration status and situations becomes very difficult for them to approach the councils or official sources for help. But please look out for charities. There are loads of charities that help the cause of immigrants and who need help and support. So that is also available for people to access. Don't suffer in silence or be afraid to go out there and look for the help. We all have to pull together at this particular time. There are also serious issues at this time where people are finding things difficult. Mental health and physical health becomes a problem. Definitely, you should make it a point to talk to your GP if your money problems are starting to affect your mental health. The GP might be able to help you as well in terms of pointing you to the right places so that you can get the support as much as they can, trying to do what they can to help your mental health and to give you the right treatment that you need.
Okay. Wow. Such a volumes of advice that has been given today, wherever you are listening to us or watching us from. Now, this applies to those of us in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So please, but if you are outside, I mean anywhere in the part of around the globe, and you also want to seek help, that's what he wants to say in a nutshell. Just seek help there, because we know that we've got numerous of listeners who are other parts of the world as well. Okay, so before we bring the program to a close, as you know, we'll have Mr. Dan Tabiri, who is the CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and he provides the best when it comes to the services in accounting. I mean, whether it's self-assessment, your books, whatever you want to do, I mean, name it, he can help you on that front. So we'll let him put his contact details across, and if you want any financial advice as well, you can contact him as well, and he will try to, as much as he can, to give you the advice that he or you need. All right, so Mr. Tabiri, let me hand over to you so that you can put your contact details and how our listeners can get to you there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so I am reachable on 07961248834, 07961248834, or you can reach me on my email at dan@gilaccountants.com, dan@gilaccountants.com, and I'll do my best to speak to you or discuss any issues that you have, so we can try and find you a solution one way or the other.
Wow. Mrs. Tabiri, let me once again say thank you very much for this wonderful presentation once again.
You are most welcome, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week, where we'll bring you more information to help us manage our money problems and issues confronting us.
Okay, sir. So have a lovely weekend, and we catch up later.
Thank you very much, and same to you.
Right then. Well, listeners, that was Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of JR Accountancy Services, our money man, of course. I say it all the time, in the abundance of water, it's only the fool who is thirsty. Are you a fool? I know that you're not a fool. No. Why? Because you listen to us. But you can tell a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. The Star Radio UK has got programs of that sort that comes your way particular days of the week, but the money hour comes to your way on Fridays at 12:30. So on that note, let me say thank you very much to each and every one of you for tuning in today to listen to us. As he put his contact details around, make sure you get in touch with him. But over the weekend, there's going to be lots of music coming from the studios, and this evening, God willing, we should have an Afia Sewarakoto also coming your way with our Afia show, and it will be followed by some lots of music there as well. Sunday we'll be bringing you the live church broadcast, and then we should be having in the evening as well the Faith Talk with KB Bossman, and a lot more music, whatever it is, name it, from archaeology to zoology. If there's any music that is making the rounds in those fields, it will come your way. All right then, so this is where I bring the program to a close for today, and let me say thank you very much for tuning in once again. But chin up, keep your hope on, don't lose hope, continue, and I can tell you that definitely one way or the other you'll be able to go through. Thank you very, very much, and enjoy this song as I brought your way. Okay, this one from Mika Paris. And it says something inside so strong. When that song ends and you don't hear from me, it's been me, Archie, saying have a top of the day. Bye-bye for now.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The further you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can't deny